funniest pets and people. The cat's back in the bag. A bird hitches south for the winter. A dog whose bite is worse than his bark. And the real Puss in Boots. So get yourself a cold drink and hop on over. It's the show that will have you sit, stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Pets and People. Lose your loafers and slip on your sneakers. It's playtime. Callie was torn about indoor squirrel chasing. On the one hand, she missed the wind through her fur. On the other, kibble breaks were now much more convenient. Bonkers really loved being filmed, so he does his best to be especially cute. Today, this involves climbing inside a camera bag. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Yeah, he's a charmer, but Bonkers has one other way of making sure he's filmed. In case anyone thinks of putting the camera away, that's the camcorder bag he's in.
DJ Hookfeet, Parrot Private Eye, Scene 3, Take 1.
Okay, DJ, you jump on the car. You jump on. That's it, No. Don't try to get in the car. Okay, now you fight the... Okay, you're not supposed to touch the steering wheel, TJ. Let go of the... Let go. Okay, that's good. Okay, don't turn the steering wheel the other way. Would you... No. Cut! That's lunch, everybody.
This kitty has just heard the story of Cinderella, and she's gonna try on every slipper until she finds one that fits. Then maybe she can go to a fancy ball in a pumpkin chariot. Or not. After scrimping and saving and finally qualifying for a mortgage, Wally and Sheila were very excited to purchase their first home, though they still disagree. You see, Wally is convinced there's room for an exercise wheel, as he shows Sheila here. But she thinks he's flipped out. This always happens whenever Martin plays the piano. See, this is a musical kitty, and his ears are sensitive. And that piano hasn't been tuned since the Rolling Stones were still in elementary school, Martin. But the kitty doesn't want to hurt his owner's feelings. So he figures, well, might as well join in. Maybe he can convince Martin to play some nice dinner music. This cat and dog are participating in a bold new initiative called Pet Pal Day, and it's going great. Although technically, Pet Pal Day does end at 6 p.m., and it is 6:03. But we got off to a great start, didn't we? Brian wants to play with his sister so much, why he'd be willing to climb mountains to do it. But he needs to learn one thing. Even if you are willing to climb mountains, it might be easier to look for a tunnel that goes through first. You gotta run with these next jokes, folks, because it's Funniest Pets and People Unleashed. And now it's time for college prep questions. If a cat licks 3 ounces of water per hour from a 1-gallon fishbowl, how long before he reaches the goldfish? A, 7 minutes. B, 19 minutes. Or C, 27 minutes. And the answer is never, because the goldfish sweat will keep filling the bowl. It's true what they say, folks. With new doggy denture grip, you'll be able to do all the activities you used to do, and no one will be the wiser. New doggy denture grip. You'll feel like you're 2 again. That would be 14 in doggy years. Little Mikey thought this was a very strange way of tacking down the new floor. But if this is the way it was done, well, this is the way it was done. And he was going to join in and help out. And if swinging your hands through the air and slapping them together would help dry the varnish, well, he'd do that too. Yeah, it is true, folks. Blizzard here isn't very fond of the duster. But it all goes back to his dad's advice to always stand out in a crowd. Which Blizzard figures is kind of hard to do when you're a white dog on a freshly dusted white floor. It may not be what his dad meant, but you gotta admire the loyalty. No one's able to get one past old Rocky here. By hour 2, he realized this was not a tether ball. And at hour 6, it occurred to him, hey, it's not my birthday, and that's not a piñata. As for right now, he's exploring his newfangled beehive theory. On this week's episode of Fibley's Believe It or Don't, the mystery of No Ride Mountain. Deep in the Colorado mountains, a bike trail leads to a mountaintop that will not let wheels ride on it. Some say it's revenge against a crazy biker that tore up the trails. Others say the mountain just enjoys watching people flop over. Believe it or don't. You may not be the most comfortable outfit in the world, but when it comes to getting around the house quickly, nothing beats a slinky in your diaper. Once a year, these two would get together in remembrance. Remembrance of a kebab vendor named Vinny, who sold the tastiest, juiciest kebabs this side of Chicago, and who tragically decided to move to Canada to be near his family. So long, Vinny. We'll miss you. Okay, gotta work those shoulders. Ooh, that's real tight. Yeah, I need to do those stretches I showed you. Ah, there's a knot right there. Oh,
It's gonna hurt. Yeah. Don't try to go. This is all your fault. What did I say about climbing trees? You gotta climb with your legs. Use your big muscles.
Coming up, a knee-high Hercules. And Grandma crashes on the sofa. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. Ditch that date minder. We're heading for good times. Among the great discoveries of history, including cavemen and fire, or Benjamin Franklin and electricity, Thomas Edison and the light bulb, I don't think we should include this particular cat's discovery that balloons pop. Now, these dogs may not look like geniuses for fighting over one stick when there are so many lying around, but that's where you'd be wrong, because actually they're history buffs. And they're following Teddy Roosevelt's famous advice to walk softly and carry a big stick. Sleeping in a napkin is a lot less pleasant than sleeping in your comfy covered cage. But then he should have thought of that before he said his girlfriend should lay off the bird feed and lose a few ounces. Osgood felt so proud of his efforts to take up art and become more cultured, which is very admirable for a dog. So don't tell him this isn't what they mean by spinning pots. This bird wanted so badly to get a job in his favorite restaurant that the management caved in and hired him. But since he is a bird, the whole thing kind of had to be under the table. Bobby has gotten so strong that his parents put him in a high chair at dinner to protect themselves. They also no longer force him to finish his milk when he's having cookies. And the one thing they live in fear of? The day he discovers spinach. Is that your belly jiggling from laughter? Then this must be ups and downs. I bet you didn't know an animal can change species. Well, watch this kitten become a catfish. Here, Grandma's showing baby Leroy how to walk. But that's a little too advanced for him, so she starts with showing him how to fall down. Willie is going to do some crazy high jumps to become a daredevil. But it's kind of tough to reach, so it just seems he's going to have to settle for being an escape artist. Andrea manages to keep her smile even though she flopped while dancing, which shows she's a good sport, and that what she really wanted was to get herself on television. Curiously, this little boy is living his life in reverse. Because most people start out crawling and wind up in a rocking chair. Sparky here does not understand a few things, like the fact that he's too wide for that tree. And this really isn't what his owners meant when they told him he was a bird dog. Yep, nothing like sightseeing. Coming up, a stuck stork. And pop goes the bunny. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. These next clips are cool, because, you know, some like it cold. It was too cold out to go swimming in the pool, so this little bunny decided to play Marco Polo in the leaves. Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Polo.
Marco! My name's Steve. Shut up! Bucky's owner said he could go swimming as soon as the snow cleared. And Bucky loves to swim. So if he has to clear the snow chunk by chunk, he's gonna do it. We see him swimming somewhere around July. In the old country, dogs believe snowmen contain bountiful treasure of meat and cheese snacks for the most determined diggers. They also believe snowmen will defend themselves. What's better than indoors? The great outdoors. Otto is a real thinker. Here, he's trying out his new fetching concept of skipping the middleman and then getting the sticks yourself. And now he's testing another theory of how those mysterious crop circles are formed. Boy, you wouldn't think there would be all this interest just because someone dropped a penny in the lake. But then again, how often does someone drop a 1943 S-Series copper penny in the lake? Hello? The rarest in existence. So bottoms up. Geez, talk about having a hard time leaving the nest. Actually, this young bird is anxious to take off, but he keeps having the funny feeling he's forgetting something. And he is. How to fly. Get ready to laugh at the classics. It's Funniest Pets and People Rewind. When Kiki thought back to the day that she and Bowser met, she realized it was meant to be. Their interest in knots and jumping and of hanging by their teeth. Yeah, it was a love all tied up in a neat shredded rope. Bucky just hated the air conditioner. He just hated it. For economic reasons, for environmental reasons, and most of all, because when it turned on, it meant everyone was comfortable enough inside that no one was bringing him a treat anytime soon. Seems kind of strange this dog is retrieving that large, heavy stone. But he just wants to please his owner. Because he overheard someone say, "Wow, look at the size of the rock he gave his fiancée." Little Billy is not the greatest singer in choir, but he is the most devoted. Whenever they get to the part about blessed angels, he always swoons. Tinker loves to dig so much she'll do it anywhere. But her owner isn't worried about her ruining the backyard or anything else, frankly, because he figures if she can't dig through a sheet, Well, the rest of the house is probably pretty safe. Coming up, the world's greatest dog mime troupe. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. The dogs thought no one believed in their love. But when everyone said it couldn't last, they were talking about the window. But this longing to be together won't last much longer. Eventually, that glass will have enough paw prints that they won't even be able to see each other. But as long as there's window cleaner, they'll always have tomorrow. See you next time.